everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyrielle and I'm so happy you decided to join me today. You are going to see me in about 3 different outfits throughout this whole video, and I'm so sorry because I completely forgot to film an intro to this. So this is your introduction. Yay! I'm going to be testing out the Hyped Up Revolution Stick Foundation. Without further ado, don't forget to leave a like if you like foundation reviews and you're excited for a nice affordable foundation stick. Is it good? Is it not? Watch to find out. And don't forget to subscribe for all my future videos. Don't forget, click it now. It's right down there. And with the magic of editing, you will be transported into the past. I'm so lame. Okay, so let's try this foundation out. It's been super hyped up and I'm so glad that actually people are hyping up Makeup Revolution because it's such an affordable brand. This is only £5 and you can get it from Tam Beauty and also Superdrug. I've seen so many good things about this online, like on Instagram and YouTube and things, so I'm really excited to try it. People are saying it's like full coverage. I looked online for the claims for that and it doesn't actually say that it's supposed to be full coverage. Obviously I'm going to be testing that out today. What it actually says about the foundation online is that it's been launched in 18 shades, which is amazing. Again, they did that with the concealer that they brought out. It's supposed to be a fast base foundation that quickly perfects, contours and highlights your complexion. It's supposed to be an easy to apply stick formula that melts into the skin, blended in seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. This is going to be a finish that I don't typically wear. I do like the way that it looks, but because I have oily skin, I do find it difficult. They're not as long lasting for me because it kind of melts away. They don't last as long as a matte foundation for me. We'll see how this lasts on my combination oily skin. But that's pretty much all they claim. There's no other kind of crazy claims on it. So I'm just gonna dive straight in. I again bought 2 shades in this because I thought I'd kind of like try to cream contour a little bit. I've got the shade F1 for my actual all over base, and then I've got the shade F10 for a contour. F1 is for fair skin tones with a neutral undertone, which is me. I prefer to either go neutral or yellow because I have more of a yellowish undertone. I have a lot of redness on my face, but the rest of me is kind of yellow tone. Also, this is the fairest shade. I usually have to go for the paler shade because I am so pale, so we'll see how this pans out. And then the F10 is for medium skin tones with a golden undertone. And I thought that'd kind of go because I have a yellowish undertone, but we will see. It's probably going to be too dark, knowing me, or too orange. Buying things online is kind of hard to gauge sometimes, so we shall see. It says you can use this with a sponge, your fingers, or also a brush, so I'm going to be trying both a sponge and a brush today. I do this with all my foundation reviews. I like to try both to see what the finish is like on either side and see which one I prefer. I'm going to be using the Morphe Y6. I'm giving this another chance. I've actually been using it quite a bit with more liquidy foundations and I have been actually quite liking this. I kind of dissed it when I first tried it. I didn't see the hype about it, but after using it for a little bit longer I actually quite like it. I feel like it definitely needed product in the brush to actually blend nicely though. So, and then I'm also using a new sponge. This is from Sport Direct. Sport Direct, I know. They're actually selling beauty products. I was considering doing like a first impressions or like a full face using their makeup, but I thought I'd just try the sponge first of all. I saw Jordan Lipscomb, I hope that's how you say her last name. And also Soph Does Nails talk about this, so I really wanted to give it a go. And it feels really nice and squidgy. Like it's almost like one of those stress toys, you know what I mean? And it kind of like keeps its form and then it like rises up. It's a weird one. We'll see how it blends the foundation today. I've used the Too Faced Hangover primer and then I also sprayed my face with the primer water from Smashbox. I always like to do that because it feels nice. So I'm gonna go in with the shade F1. It looks like a pretty good shade. It does look like a neutral kind of undertone. I'm gonna try the brush on this side. Ooh, it feels really nice and soft. Not as soft as the Hourglass, but it's really nice. Let's just go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and try blending this out. It's quite easy to blend out. I'm not really having to tug up my face that much. It doesn't look that dewy on me. I've seen some people and it does look very dewy. The coverage is kind of like medium. I can still see like my freckles coming through, which I do prefer. I don't really like a full mask of foundation usually. It feels really lightweight. I can't feel anything on my skin pretty much. It's not too dewy, but it's definitely giving off like a sheen, so I feel it's more like a natural kind of finish. I'm gonna go ahead and do another layer just to see if it builds up well and if it feels any more cakey or heavy. I feel like it might have oxidized a little bit, but not too much as to where I look orange. Even when I added the second layer on, I didn't get that much more coverage, which is fine. I don't mind the way that my skin is looking right now. It's just not really covering up everything, which I've seen on other people that it covers literally their soul. I like the shade though. The shade's really nice. It pretty much is my exact skin tone. I have redness down my neck, so it might look a little bit off, but this is pretty much what my chest looks like, as you can see. Just gonna go ahead and do my forehead quickly. I feel like this doesn't accentuate my pores, but around here there's kind of a little bit more texture than what I'd like. It hasn't so much smoothed out that area. It's not laying on top, it's hard to describe. Also, what's going on with my skin by here? Can you see that? I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's like doing something weird by here. It's like accentuating lines that I didn't even know I had. I have to zoom you in just so you can see that. Like, I don't know. It looks like my skin's like stretched. And like all by here, I feel like my pores are just there. I'll try with the sponge now on this side and see if that makes it any better texture wise, but so far, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not the greatest looking. I really like that it's just neutralized my redness though. As you can tell, I've got a lot of redness on my skin. I'm gonna try this sponge. If I don't like it, I'll go to my usual. This blends out really nicely actually. I'm getting a lot lighter coverage with the sponge. I don't think the sponge is absorbing it. I'm gonna go in with the second layer as I did on the other side. I think it's definitely oxidizing. So I like the way it's looking with a second coat. Gonna do my forehead real quick. So I definitely prefer the texture with the sponge side. I feel like this is a trend happening on my channel where I just prefer the sponges for the finish. So I'm going to quickly pat over the brush side with the sponge to even up the texture a little bit. So this is what my face is looking like. I'd say this is a medium coverage, definitely not full, even though I added the second layer. It's looking better now that I've kind of finessed it in with the sponge. Now I'm gonna try and contour with F10. It's looking quite orange. Oh, doesn't look that bad actually when it's on the skin. Oh, it's looking a little bit orangey on my forehead. Oh no. Okay, I don't think that looks too bad. I don't think it looks the best either. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the Makeup Revolution concealer in shade C1. This is supposed to match up with the foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face now, powder, everything like that, like I usually would, and I will be right back. Okay, so I finished up the rest of my face and my eyes and everything. It's been about an hour and a half since I've initially put it on, so it has been a little bit of time. When I started putting it on, it was about 3 o'clock. I know it's a bit late in the day, but I usually stay up till about 12, so we'll have about 10 hours wear of it. It's now 4:36, so it's just about 4:30. When I initially put it on, it was kind of tacky. I tried to leave it set for a little bit to see if that would die down, but it didn't. So I did set it with my Hourglass powder, and I also set it with my primer water from Smashbox, just because that's what I would usually do with every foundation. So looking at the foundation, it looks the same. It doesn't appear that there's any change at all. Maybe I'm getting a little bit oily already, but the finish is looking nice. After going over it with the sponge, I feel like the finish was a lot better. And actually setting it with the powder, I feel like smoothed it out as well. So it's looking a lot better than what it initially was. So far, I'm pretty happy with the way my skin looks. It's not emphasizing any texture or anything. It's just sitting nicely on my skin. So this is what my skin looks like. I've got a little spot under here, which is just great. Texture on my skin isn't emphasized too much. I have texture on my skin that usually comes through in the majority of my foundations, but it's not emphasized any kind of fine lines or anything, which I'm quite happy about. It's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go about the rest of my day and then I'll do a few check-ins and we'll see if there's any changes. Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a quick check-in. It is now 9:41. The foundation's been on for about 6 hours. I've just been running errands. I've actually got changed. I put my hair up because I was done with trying to look nice. I've also been doing some creative stuff, so I have glue all over my hands right now, so please, I'm not peeling, I don't have any kind of skin condition, it's literally just glue. And I literally just ran up from downstairs from doing what I was doing to do this, so please forgive my hands right now. So I'm just gonna take a look at the foundation, see what it's looking like, see what we're working with. Okay, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'm not as oily as I thought I was, considering this is a dewy foundation. I'm not that shiny. I'm quite impressed. There is a little bit, but not as much as I've seen before. It hasn't broken down, it hasn't gone into fine lines. It's actually looking pretty nice. It just looks kind of dewy because my eyes have kind of come through a little bit. I feel like I could just powder and go. Obviously my lipstick is gone because I've been eating throughout the day. The kind of texture and pore problem that I had in the beginning, it hasn't got any worse. In fact, I kind of feel like it's got better as it's kind of warmed up to my skin. I feel like it looks more flawless and more smooth after a few hours of wear. With stick foundations, I sometimes have a problem of the slip and slide, but this is looking pretty rock solid right now. My nose has kind of been running, so it's kind of like rubbed off the sides by here where I've just been like, you know, wiping my nose and stuff. But apart from that, there's no transfer anywhere, which is what I was kind of worried about considering how sticky it was when I initially applied it. But that's all gone away when I powdered it. It still looks pretty good. I'm pretty shook right now. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on for a few more hours and then I'll do another check-in, probably covered in more glue. But yeah, so far, quite impressed. Hey guys, so it's the end of the evening. This is my final check-in now because it's, what's the time? It's now just gone 10 to 1, so it's pretty late and I really want to go to bed. I really want to go wash my face now because I've been wearing this for 10 hours but I want to check back in to see how it's looking. So my face is feeling fine. I don't feel any weight on my face. I feel like it started breaking down now. A little bit of my redness is actually showing through by here. It hasn't like separated or it doesn't look splotchy or anything. It's kind of faded a little bit. I'm seeing kind of red marks and some more of my freckles coming through. Kind of rubbed off a little bit on my chin. It hasn't settled into my smile line. I'm looking very oily as you can see, but this isn't as bad as some other foundations I've tried, which still kind of blows my mind. It said it was going to be dewy. I was prepared to be a complete oil slick, but this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. My general skin is looking kind of dewy now. Like this is the kind of finish that I was expecting from the initial application. I don't think it looks bad though. It's just obviously very oily in my T-zone where I usually produce the most amount of oil. I have kind of like the 11s starting to form. I think it's because I sleep on my face. So they are kind of starting to show a tiny bit. So my first impression thoughts on this after wearing it for a full day is I'm actually pleasantly surprised at the formula, at the longevity and how my face actually looks at the end of the day, considering that I am a oily skinned, well, combination 2 more oily skinned girl. I'm super happy with how this has lasted, considering it was only £5 and this is their first ever kind of like base product apart from the concealer. I feel like they've done a really good job with this, and also the 18 shades is amazing, got different undertones. I feel like Makeup Revolution really killed it with this. It's definitely something I'm going to play around more with different primers and things like that, and I'm actually very impressed. So that is it for this video. I'm going to wrap it up right now. I really hope you enjoyed this first impression and wear test. If you did, don't forget to subscribe because then you'll get to see more content that I'm doing like this. I've got loads more foundations to try out. I actually really want to try this one, which is by Maybelline and it's the 24-hour Superstay. I can't wait to try this one out. So if you have combination to oily skin and you want to see how foundations last on that kind of skin type, then don't forget to subscribe because maybe this will help you a little bit. If you do enjoy these videos, it would really help me out if you just give it a little thumbs up just so I know. So yeah, that is it from me for this video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I hope you come back for the next one. See you then. Bye!